Nothing has ever been a bubble that then has outperformed itself. And so I fully expect in this cycle, and you have this halvening thing happening in April, which is great technically for Bitcoin, I expect all-time highs in the next 12 months.
Breaking news, VanEck CEO says Bitcoin will break new all-time highs in the next 12 months. VanEck is one of the largest financial institutions on the planet. The smartest people in the room are listening to the VanEck CEO when he gets on TV and says this.
For 2024 in particular, and some have been scratching their head a little bit at the behavior of Bitcoin and gold because they're saying, are they trading off the real rates? What is it that they are trading off of, and what tells you that you think they're, if this is your gut, that Bitcoin itself will outperform next?
Well, it's the macro, right? So you just stores of value that don't generate interest, which is why the investors like Warren Buffett don't like them at all. But they behave really in relation to interest rates, like you said. That's the big cycle, and interest rates are headed down, directionally speaking. So the macro behind Bitcoin and gold are very strong. By the way, they kind of do perform similarly. They both peaked in 2021. They've both been rallying this year. Obviously, Bitcoin way more than gold for different
But now that
reasons.
Bitcoin's grown up, and I promise I'll move on to other topics, but if you look at gold's performance in the 2010s, it was okay. That was all obviously the low interest rate era. If you think we're going back to kind of low rates, has Bitcoin already made the big gains and now kind of treading water?
No, because it's growing up. Like I said, it's like a child that's growing up, and so you can argue about it being a bubble. And what I say is no bubble. So it bubbled in 2017, but then it hit all-time highs in 2021. So nothing has ever been a bubble that then has outperformed itself. And so I fully expect in this cycle, and you have this halvening thing happening in April, which is great technically for Bitcoin. I expect all-time highs in the next 12 months.
So you guys are amongst those who have filed to have the first or one of many spot Bitcoin ETFs. How do you think they're going to approve it? Literally one at a time, firm by firm, or is it going to be kind of a batch all at once? Your ticker, I have to say to your credit, is HODL.
Yeah, we're very happy with the ticker, which we announced last week. But I very, very much expect it'll be all one day.
Okay.
Because that's what happened with the Ethereum futures. So because the SEC decided to sort of put everything on hold on crypto, just depending on paperwork, effectively, someone could have an unfair advantage. And they've said from a policy perspective, no, let everyone start at the same time.
You are completely unprepared for the pump that traditional finance marketing will bring to the Bitcoin space. Remember, every single prior pump has had TradFi screeching that Bitcoin is worthless, speculative, garbage. Every single prior pump had most of the world's money managers as headwinds. This time, they will be tailwinds. You are not ready. Even more interesting, VanEck just recently put their reputation on the line and published 15 crypto predictions for 2024. Here they are. You tell me which one of these you agree with, which one of these you disagree with. Either way, it's amazing that VanEck is saying this. Prediction number 1, the US recession will finally arrive, but so will the first spot Bitcoin ETFs. Over 2.4 billion may flow into these ETFs in Q1 2024 to support Bitcoin's price. Prediction number 2, the fourth Bitcoin halving in 2024 will see minimal market disruption and a post-halving rise in Bitcoin's price, with significant gains for some low-cost miners. Prediction number 3, Bitcoin will make a new all-time high in Q4 of 2024, potentially spurred by political events and regulatory shifts following a US presidential election. Prediction number 4, Ethereum won't flip Bitcoin in 2024, but will still outperform major tech stocks. Ethereum's market share will be challenged by other smart contract platforms. Prediction number 5, post EIP 4844, this is proto-dank sharding, post this implementation, Ethereum Layer 2s will capture the majority of EVM-compatible total value locked and trading volume. Prediction number 6, NFT activity will rebound to all-time highs, with Ethereum leading and Bitcoin gaining traction via the Ordinals protocol, shifting the ETH to Bitcoin NFT issuance ratio to 3-to-1, 3 ETH to 1 Bitcoin by the end of 2024. Prediction number 7, Binance will lose the number 1 position for spot trading, with competitors like OKX, Bybit, Coinbase, and BitGet contending for leadership. Coinbase's futures market may exceed 1 billion daily volume as regulated index inclusion becomes key. Prediction number 8, stablecoin market cap will reach a new all-time high above 200 billion. USDC will reverse market share losses, indicating a shift towards more institutional adoption, especially on emerging layer 2 chains. Prediction number 9, DEXs will hit all-time highs in spot trading market share, driven by fast blockchains like Solana and wallets enabling automated transactions, promoting on-chain trading and self-custody. Prediction 10, remittances will boost blockchain use with Bitcoin staking on the Lightning Network offering yield opportunities through new user-friendly staking tools. Prediction 11, a breakout blockchain game may surpass 1 million daily players. Immutable X is poised to climb market cap ranks with key releases and the Immutable Passport, streamlining wallet usage and enabling a wider blockchain adoption. Also, they've named Immutable X will be, they say, a top 25 blockchain. Prediction 12, Solana is projected to become a top 3 blockchain by market cap, TVL, and users, potentially surpassing Chainlink's TVS with its Pyth Oracle as DeFi TVL surges and ETF interest grows. Interesting. Solana top 3 and ETF interest growing around Solana. Very interesting. Prediction number 13, we're getting into more lower caps. DePIN networks, especially HiveMapper and Helium, will increase adoption, with HiveMapper mapping significant distances and Helium's 5G network expanding rapidly, offering cost-effective alternatives to traditional infrastructures. Prediction number 14, new accounting standards will boost corporate crypto holdings. Coinbase will report Layer 2 revenues as Base protocol grows. By 2025, a major financial entity may launch a quasi-public blockchain with public chain connectivity. And then finally, prediction number 15, KYC-compliant DeFi apps led by Uniswap will likely surpass non-KYC ones, attracting institutional volume and enhancing protocol fees, which may boost Uniswap's token value. Which VanEck predictions did you agree with? Which did you disagree with? I want to remind you that very similar to BlackRock, VanEck is known for launching ETFs, and they are one of the main contenders to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF with BlackRock and the 11 plus others very soon. And it's really interesting to hear the CEO of VanEck tell his story, why they got into crypto. Listen.
When did you get into Bitcoin? Because this is a really big thing for you and for the fund, for the firm and everything.
Yeah, 2017. Okay. So we were the first established ETF player to file for a Bitcoin related ETF.
Your personal interest, or what drove it?
It was me, but listen, gold, my dad started the firm with the first gold fund in the United States, and so store of value investing is in our DNA. And I said, oh man, what's this Bitcoin thing? And I knew about it, and I said, well, you've got to do the deep dive. So I listened to the podcasts, read the white paper, and I said, no, this is going to be an accompaniment of gold. And, when I try to talk to people who are so doubtful about Bitcoin, I said, listen, that was in 2017, it was $3,000 a Bitcoin. It's up 10x from now. It's just, why are you surprised? Remember China? Large parts of China were completely undeveloped and unindustrialized 30 years ago, but things change, right? And so I think Bitcoin is the obvious asset that is growing up in front of our eyes.
I guess the two, and I watch it and I concede that it actually has behaved remarkably like gold and some kind of store of value. Proxy, I can't quite put my finger on why, but you do think, well, there could always be some new thing that comes along. Bitcoin itself was innovative. There could be some new version of this down the road that takes people's interest. And number two, the Jamie Dimon critique that there's so much nefarious stuff associated with it that there's still a regulatory risk that, stymies it.
There's a lot of political risk around it, absolutely. But what I say as far as something else coming along, there's 50 million users of Bitcoin, so it's got network effects. I think that's impossible for me to imagine some other, what I call it, internet store of value that's going to get leapfrog Bitcoin. So that's number one. As far as the criminality and all that kind of stuff, listen, Don't throw the first stone if you're associated with the bank or any financial institution that's never been involved with criminals in one shape or another. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, let me know in the comments which altcoins you're buying on the dip. Guys, if you're new to the channel or just coming back into crypto, check out any of our videos from the last 6 months. There's a lot of value in our videos from the last 6 months. Do not ignore these just because they're a month old or 2 months old. Some of these videos just have so much value and are still very much relevant, or, talk about different crypto coins that are still very much in the conversation, that if, you have different ways you want to do things, 10 coins under $1, whatever you want to do, we have a video for that. So again, watch our videos from the last 6 months. There's a lot of value in these. See you tomorrow.